What is up, YouTube, Facebook, and everybody watching? Today, we are going to have a nice live stream. We're going to be talking about foreclosures, the pain of buying a house that's entering foreclosure. My situation right now, I just pulled an all-nighter trying to buy a house that's falling into foreclosure, and I have such a story to tell y'all. I'm so excited for this live stream. Oh my God. I am getting texts right and left. Everything is falling apart at the seams on this deal, but I'll deal with that in a little bit. But I'll tell you guys what is happening. So who's all here? Who's all here? Everyone's going to be joining really shortly. I am so excited for this live stream. I'll answer all your guys' wholesaling questions, all your guys' real estate investing questions, all your guys' questions. Wow, I'm excited. So everyone's going to be joining. So guys, this is the situation. I know I've kept you going for 3 minutes now. Brian in our community sent us a deal, and it's listed on MLS for $230,000. He sent it to me a while ago. I walked the property, and I was like, dude, no, we need it a lot cheaper, so much cheaper. The realtor was like, what about 200? We're like, no. And she was like, what about 180? And I was like, it still doesn't work. We need it cheaper. Well, Ryan's a G, and he got it down to 150, but there was a stipulation. And this was yesterday. You can have it at 150, but you have to close by Monday. What? Guys, it takes 14 days to close if you're fast. If you're fast. Man, how are we supposed to close in like 3-4 days? Well, they're going into foreclosure. So that was the deal. You guys get a streaming deal if you guys can close ASAP. So I pulled an all-nighter. We did absolutely everything we can. I'm going to walk you guys through the steps from A to Z on how to get a deal in 3-4 days. But anyways, we did all the work. We have it ready to go, ready to buy. Either my fund is going to buy it. We may wholesale it. I don't know. I mean, we're still looking at the numbers, trying to figure everything out. But the realtor, they're canceling escrow. They're trying to cancel escrow. They're trying to back out. So that's what we're figuring out now. So I'm going to add Ryan to the stage here. So Ryan is the awesome wholesaler. So before we get into this deal, guys, I just want to say that Ryan closed his first deal today. So outside of this deal, Ryan brought me a deal 2 days ago. We just closed it today. So on top of all this stuff, so huge round of applause to Ryan. Ryan, before we get into this mess of a foreclosure that's happening, let's talk about your first deal that you closed. This is your first ever wholesale deal, right?
Yeah, first one I've ever had.
Man, so where'd you get this deal? Tell me about this deal.
I just went on Redfin, and I've just been messaging basically every realtor that I can. I mean, I was running like Google ads, Facebook ads. I had cold callers calling lists, but none of that ever worked out. And I was trying to do like nationwide originally. And then as soon as you guys told me just focus on Dallas and we'll help you dispo the deals, I was like, okay. So I just focused only on Dallas, and it's just been working out way better. And I'm starting to get to know the market a little bit better and know what to offer and stuff. And it's been working out way better than it was before.
So you sent me your first, it's been like what, a week? And now You have one deal closed. It hasn't been funded and closed, but we've locked it up and we've assigned it to an end buyer, and they should be closing here on June 5th with a 7-day lease back. So, they're going to get paid on this one. And then your second one, we should have had it today. We'll talk about that. But Ryan, to all the people out there who have been wholesaling for months, years, and they're struggling to get deals, and you just walk in here and you got 2 deals right and left. You mentioned a couple things, but what other tips do you have for the people?
How you communicate with the realtors is everything. I mean, all these properties, they're getting hit with basically like a bunch of wholesalers. They're all offering the same price. The biggest thing I would say is how do you stand out compared to all the other offers? Because we are going to be offering a low offer, but how do you seem as credible as possible? And how can you benefit the realtor in doing business with you instead of somebody else? So, and I'm texting them from a Canadian number too, so it seems even weirder. So I basically, you know what I mean? Originally when I first started trying to do on market, they were just telling me basically to F off, or automatically assuming I was a wholesaler and didn't want to deal with me. And then I started being more like, hey, I'm interested in this property. I want to text you an offer. I just moved to Dallas, a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to do a couple fix and flips. Can you help me find some properties? And can I send an offer on this one? Just trying to sound like more human.
Yeah.
And then when I sent the actual offer, I was like, so this is the offer. This is why it's this price. I feel like it's reasonable and fair because of X, Y, and Z. And if you can continue to send me distressed properties, I do Facebook and Google ads, and I can send you leads that need an on-market solution if you can help me find distressed properties. And ever since I've been saying that, I no longer have them giving attitude with me or being like, like mean realtors. They're all like super nice all of a sudden. So that's been the biggest thing that I changed that started working.
So you're offering to give these realtor leads? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I do Facebook and Google ads, and often the leads want like full market price. So I'll have like I don't even know what to do with them. So I'll just send them to the realtors. And then in return, I'm like, hey, can you help me find distressed properties?
Gotcha. Okay, man. So whatever you're doing is working. And we can talk first about your deal that we got locked up today. And then we're waiting for Captain Vacation to come in here. And we're going to talk about the pain in the butt deal that we're working on. But that's okay. But yeah, let's first talk about this first deal that we got moved today. So this one, tell me about it. So you said you found this one on Redfin. What was it originally listed at?
I'd have to check the numbers, but I know it was around 50,000 over what we had it for. So I think it was listed for around like 155.
Okay.
And then I got it under contract for 125. And yeah, just the numbers worked. It was a little tight, but I thought worst case scenario, we might be able to lower the price a bit just to make it work. But yeah.
Okay, so it's listed at 155. We got it under contract at 125. I ran the comps, tough property to comp. It was a property out in Fort Worth, small little house, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. So all of your comps were 2-bathroom properties. So there was 2 plays here, guys. It was an ugly little house, right? Cheap little house, 125 grand house. Most of your ugly little homes, I've told you guys, at least here in Dallas, Fort Worth, you're going to want them under 100 grand. That's usually the sweet spot. These cheap framer. When I say framer, I'm talking about a house that's made of like those wood, right? Not like your typical brick home that at least you see here in the South, right? Those small little houses, what's it, like 1,200 square feet or something? Those small houses, you usually want to lock them up when they're in bad condition for under 100 grand. But this one wasn't actually in that bad of condition. And I'll make videos on this later because this was a fun deal we closed. This one, people were living in there. There's homeowners living in there. So it's in livable condition. So there's 2 different plays on this property. You can go in and you can fix it up, not spend, a ton of money because it's in livable condition, maybe 40 grand, rehab it, get it to full after repair value, and then sell it for, what were the numbers? Maybe I forget them off the top of my head, like 210, 220, something around that range.
It was actually, it was listed for 175 and I got it down.
Whoa.
Yeah.
175 to 125.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, math. I don't even know what that is. That was like 30, 40%, like not 30-ish%. That's crazy. Guys, so you can absolutely negotiate badass deals on market. But yeah, guys, so what's so cool is that there was that strategy. So you could sell it to somebody who wants to fix it up and sell it and resell it, or it would make a great little rental, right? Because people are already living in there. If you just broom swept it, cleaned it up, maybe you spent 10 grand on little things. Now for 135 grand, you have a rental that will probably rent for like $1,500 or maybe $1,400, like whatever. Like that's awesome, right? A 1% rule, right? 1% of the value of the house. So if the value of the house is 150 grand, it should rent for 1,500. That's a great deal. So we were able to sell it for 130. So Ryan's camera went off right when I snapped. It's the magic power of my snapping. Now he's back. It wasn't a huge win, right? Between all of us, we made 5 grand. That's split between me, my partner Tony, who helped me with this deal. That's split between our sales agents, Elizabeth, who had to drive like 2 hours in the rain to go sell that property. And then that's split between all the partners at the company. And then that's also split between Ryan, who found this deal. Not every one of your wholesale deals are going to be huge money makers, but it's all about just getting those, those reps in under your belt, right? It's all about just getting the reps in. We've worked tons of hours on this deal, and we're not going to make a lot of money, but dude, it's your first deal. Like, don't you feel good?
I'm nervous that something's going to happen. I mean, I just want to get my first deal so bad.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, we don't, again, guys, don't like call things done until they're done. So that's another a really important lesson. Yeah, huge lesson, right? So we're celebrating now, but I got the non-refundable deposit from our buyer, but something could still happen, right? So Ryan has the right attitude. Never celebrate too early. But huge congrats to Ryan for getting that deal. That is awesome. Hey guys, so for you guys in the Discord, we're streaming here on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll turn my backup camera on for y'all. So you actually, if I can, maybe I can't. Anyways, I'll try to figure it out. So you guys aren't just looking at a weird shirtless picture of me when I was at a rave. But but anyways, all right. So that's awesome, dude. So that was that property. And I mean, when it came to us on the dispo side, because we talked about how you got the deal, I ran the numbers, the different plays. Hey, this is the long term, this is the short term, and then I created a CMA. I ran the market analysis. I found really good comps. I made a really nice spreadsheet, got all the tax rolls, made it really nice, set it all up on Salesforce, pushed it live to our team, and our team ran with the deal. And in 48 hours, we had all of our buyers ready. And then we actually had a showing at the property. So we went out and showed the property. Our buyers liked it. We locked it up and sold it. So that's the process on the dispo side. There's a lot of moving parts. So if you have a good dispo partner, they're not just going to be lazy and list a deal on Investor Lift or just lazily list a deal on Facebook. We go through so much work. I put tens and tens of hours into that $2,500 win on our side or $5,000 win or whatever the heck it was, because that's what a good dispo partner should do. Because we're not doing this deal for the money. On our side, I was doing this deal for one, to get Ryan his first deal, but two, Ryan's a badass wholesaler. And you think he's going to work with any other dispo shop here in Dallas-Fort Worth ever again? I mean, I don't know. Let's ask Ryan.
No, you guys are definitely the best that I've ever worked with for sure.
And that's why we do it, right? That's why we do it. The first deal, I don't care if we make money. The second deal, I don't care if we make money, because I know third, fourth, fifth deal, if I can attract the best wholesalers like all of you listening, that's my job as your dispo partner. I want to sell your deal. I want you to make money, and I want you to come back and do business with me. That should be your goal as any business owner, right? If you guys own a business, and I don't care what you're doing, it's not about the money at first few deals. It's about just getting a customer that will come back and do business with you. So happy that it all worked out that way. And if you guys have any questions in the chat about Ryan's first deal, just please ask. I'm looking at your chat right now. So that's awesome. Let me text Tony, and he should be joining shortly. But so we got that deal. We sold it, Ryan. But you sent me another deal, and I made it clear here. I told you all about it, right? It was listed at, man, I'm so tired. I pulled that old night on this deal. It was listed at 230. We got under contract for 150, but it's like, hey, you got to sell it in 4 days. So, we did everything, but it seems currently, I don't want to talk too much about it because, we're still working on the deal right now. It seems like the sellers are trying to, not continue with the contract, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to have to call the realtor after this and figure out what's the situation. From my understanding, it seems like they were able to extend their foreclosure. So that'll happen sometime. And that's awesome, right? I was actually trying to help the sellers extend their foreclosure, because buying a house and closing in 4 days, going through title, escrow, making sure everything's good, not only just getting the money, but making sure that the house is all good, that takes at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. So doing it in 4 days is really difficult. So I was working with the title company to try to extend it. It was a really long day. And it seems like they got that extension, but instead of continuing with us, it seems like they're searching different options, which is going to be a little bit of a situation because from my understanding, we have a legally binding contract. So it's going to be fun. I'll keep you guys updated on the situation. Don't want to talk too much about it, but a contract's a contract. And if on our side, if we did everything appropriately, then then we have a contract for the property, and hopefully we can work out a friendly deal with these great sellers and this great realtor to make sure that they still sell to us. So that's that. Oh, it's difficult. Tony will jump back in. He's been in this situation a lot too. He does a lot of foreclosure deals. So guys, when you're doing foreclosure deals, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And oftentimes when, you feel like you've done everything you can to help the seller, at the end of the day, they're probably still going to search out the opportunity that gives them the most money, even if maybe that ends up not being the right choice for them. So that's why we have to use contracts, because it's a brutal game out there. When you're doing foreclosure, there's a lot of desperation. There's a lot of things that happen, and it's very fast. Things go quickly. So you want to just make sure you check your contracts, you do everything right, you triple check everything, and you do all your things right. So hey, Brian, while we're at it, do you have any questions on or about what's going on? If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's an ongoing situation, but I'm happy to talk where I can to educate.
I guess my question would be, so we have basically that executed contract. Like, are they able to get out of it? I mean, I thought a contract just means we have the right to buy the home, basically.
Yeah. So so here's the situation. Let's say you're buying a house, right? And you sign a contract with the sellers. And here, just so y'all see, I'm here on the chat with all of my good friends. Here, I'll flip over the screen. 1 second. Oh my God, what's going on with the stream? 1 second, guys. Here we go. So, actually, here, I'll do. Hold on, bear with me. I got to share screen. Bear with me, and go and make sure I can write this out and give you guys examples. All right, cool. All right, here we are. So, all right, chat. So when you're buying a house, I don't care whether it's a foreclosure, I don't care whether it's a sub-2 deal, seller finance deal, cash deal. You're buying a house, you send over a purchase contract. You're always sending out a purchase contract. Now it says, hey, I'm going to buy your house for this much, right? I'm going to give you this much earnest money. You may have option money in your state. I'm going to give you this much money for like good faith money, and I'm going to have 3 days, 5 days, 7 days option period, inspection period, due diligence period, whatever you call it in your state, to see if I want the house. And if I don't want it, I can back out for any reason. Like, hey, my dog here, he didn't like the color of the bathroom wall. It was a little bit too blue for him. We're backing out. But because we have an option period, and because we submitted our earnest money and maybe our option money, if your state requires that, we have the right to back out for any reason. But once our option period is over, once our 3, 5, 7, 10 days, whatever you put in the contract is over, then if you back out, you lose your EMD. So in our situation, how contracts are written here in Texas, if you use a standard check contract, is, oh, Maria, my sales agent's calling me. Actually, hold on 1 second, guys. Let's not Maria, Elizabeth. Oh, my brain. Hey, what's up, Elizabeth? You're on the live stream and you're talking to YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Anyways, so Max, I needed that title company for the house we just sold in Chestnut. Do you have the information for it? That's really all I need. She's been waiting for me to open title.
Yes, I have the wholesaler Ryan here as well. So let me work on getting you that in a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, and hello to your YouTubers.
All right, and congrats on the sale. Great job, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks so much. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, there you go. So Elizabeth sold the deal. Her last name's Maria. I don't want to call her Maria. Anyways, so here in Texas, when you submit a contract, you have 3 days to open up escrow, meaning you have 3 days to submit your EMD. And then, you may have 3, 5, 7 days to back out for any reason. Well, we didn't yet submit our EMD and our option money. They made it a little bit difficult by changing title companies multiple times, but we have 3 days to submit it. So, if they sign a contract and you countersign the contract, yeah, to answer your question, Ryan, you have a binding legal agreement with the seller, and by law, they need to fulfill their side of the bargain. They don't have a right to back out unless that's in the contract, and that's not in our contract. But the buyer, us, we have a right to back out for whatever reason within that period. Now, if we don't fulfill our side of the duty, if we forgot to sign, or maybe if we do something illegal, or I don't know, or if there's something stipulated in the contract, well, then they can back out. But from what I can see, there's nothing. So, just from what we're seeing, right? They signed the contract, re-signed the contract, and now they're looking to back out. Guys, this happens all the time. Now, what are you going to do? This is when you have to make a decision. I always try to solve things amicably because, why would you get mad about something? So I'm going to call the realtor and see if maybe I'm misunderstanding something. It's likely. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. If not, try to negotiate. Hey, is this price not the right price for you? Why? What are you backing out for? Try to understand their motivation. Like Pace Morby says, try to understand their bunnies. It's like, why are they backing out? Is it money related? Do they think they can get more money if they go with someone else? Maybe that's a situation, Ryan, right? Do they want to keep the house now? Right? Did they think they have enough money to keep the house? Like what's the motivation, right? Do they need $500 for something? It's like, let's figure out the motivation. And if we can't solve this amicably and we can't figure out the motivation, well, then you have really two choices. You can then, you can sue. Lawsuits are not fun for anybody, and everyone ends up just in a whole process and a whole thing. But yeah, you can sue. Or another thing you can do is cloud title. So you can put a memo out there in their property that just says, hey, they screwed me over, or whatever your reasoning is. And when they try to resell the property, they can't, right? Title's clouded. And that's a lot easier than a lawsuit. So we've done many of those before, because this is not an uncommon situation, as much as it sucks. We've been in positions, chat, where we have a house, I've pulled all-nighters, I worked my butt off, and people end up backing out. Now, sometimes the reasons are so valid. Like we had this other situation where Ryan, this seller, like we were about to buy her house, everything was good. I think her husband died or something. It's awful. And it's like, oh, you don't want to continue with the contract. That's actually fine. I understand. Like okay, your freaking husband died. Like we're not gonna continue with this contract. That's okay. But then there's other situations where people are just literally just screwing you over. And we'll see what this situation is. I hope to the best that everything works out, or that we're misunderstanding something, or the sellers have good intentions. But we'll see. So we may have to file a memo, or we may have to escalate from there if that doesn't work out. And yeah, that's always fun. So if you guys cloud title on a property, but what you're pretty much saying is when they try to resell that property, they can't. They really can't. So if they end up wanting to keep this property for themselves and live in there for the rest of their life, well, then that sort of sucks. You're not going to get your house. But if this is like a property that they planned on selling and you put a memo and you clouded title, well, that's a really good move, because now they can't sell it. So yeah,
that would probably be the move with this one then, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll call the realtor. I'm really hopeful we can work things out. I had a friendly talk with her this morning. I don't understand what's going on, I'll be honest, because from my understanding, they agreed on a number, right? Like, I don't know why they're not happy. They told us that they were good with this number.
It probably screwed it up, the fact that the realtor is having them sign over and over and over again for to change the title company, and having to sign it over and over again for all the things you need to edit. It was just,
that was such a nightmare. So oh my God, we kept changing title and title company, and we had a contract that we were good with, but supposedly the title wasn't clearing. We had to get things done in 4 days. Guys, wholesaling is never easy, right? I love how Pace says it. He says sub 2 seller finance, wholesaling. It's simple, but it's not easy. None of this work you guys are going to do is easy. If anyone ever tells you this is easy money, they're absolutely lying to you. For the most part, what we do is simple. You get days like today where it is not simple. It goes over my head too sometimes, and I've been doing this for a while. But it's easy. You just got to get your reps in. But it's not. I'm sorry, it's not easy. It's simple. What we do is simple, right? We just call, we get properties under contract. Maybe you resell it. Maybe you keep it if it's the right deal for yourself. Whatever. But it's never easy work. We do work very hard for that little bit of money we make, and then you hit those home runs. And when you hit those home runs, people are like, "Dude, you're so lucky. Like, you just made 60 grand on one deal. I could do that." No, you couldn't, because the other 32 deals that I did that barely paid me, or that Ryan, sure, Ryan's making, pretty decent money. I'm sure Ryan's happy, but they don't see the work you put in, right? They just see the 100%. The big, right? So it's
all
like
the
gamblers.
months it takes, and all the offers you have to do, all the months it takes to get your first deal, and all the offers you have to submit. I mean, I'm submitting sometimes 15 offers a day just to get a good one.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Brian, talk more about, what you're doing and your story and your reps, because that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I started maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and every day, you know, I'm in school right now, but every day that I get home from school, every single day on the weekend, all day I'm sending offers. So it takes a long time to, I feel like there's like a law of getting your first deal. Once you get your first one, all of a sudden the next one's just kind of like flood in. At least that's what I've heard from a bunch of people. But yeah, I'm submitting like, I have a rule where I have to text at least 20 realtors a day, and I try to send anywhere from like minimum 5, usually around 15 offers a day. And then, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now.
Dude, that is beautiful. And then are you noticing a little bit, maybe it hasn't been soon enough, but what you will experience, or maybe you have experienced it, is the compound effect. And
oh yeah,
you know, well, I mean, like, so like you're messaging these 15 realtors a day, right? So after 10 days, you've done 150 realtors. After 100 days, so after like, you know, like 3 months, pretty much, you would have done, you know, 1,500 realtors. So like, so on and so forth. So, you know, at the end of the year, you have 5,000 realtors. And then, guys, 10-20% of those realtors, those are going to be good, solid realtors. So under your belt, you're going to have maybe 1,000 realtors that are good realtors. And out of those 1,000, maybe you're going to have 100 that you've developed really good relationships with. 1 or 2%, maybe you've developed really strong relationships with. And then those people, and you don't even need 100. You get 10 incredible realtors that send you deals once a month. Guys, the deals will just start coming to you. Right? Imagine 10 realtors send you great deals once a month because you reached out to 5,000 realtors. Now you're getting more than 2 deals a week, and those deals are actively coming to you. And how do you do that? Well, that's a whole nother conversation about how you can manage relations with 5,000 realtors, with 3,000 realtors, with 1,000 realtors, and 500, whatever. How do you manage those relationships? Well, that's a different conversation we can have, but you'll start to experience a lot more of that compounding effect here soon, Ryan. And I don't know, have you gotten people who have reached out to you and sent you pocket listings yet?
None of them were any good, but yeah, I've had a few people like that.
Love it.
I'm getting sent them usually at least every other day. I get a pocket listing sent to me.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And then, I mean, and guys, like what I do is not special. What I'm doing here on this chat, right, or here with y'all, or here on YouTube, and providing all this free value out there, you right. I mean, I'm not running a charity at the end of the day. Like, I love to do this. I love to help people, but I'm pretty much doing that. I'm building a lot of great relationships with y'all, and then y'all are going to send me leads eventually. Maybe it's in a month, maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's in 2 years. I don't care. But you guys are going to, you know, want to send me leads because you guys like me. Same thing with a realtor. You guys build those relationships with them. They will want to send you leads. Whenever they get that lead, whether that's tomorrow or in 2 years, they're going to want to send you those leads. So absolutely, keep on getting your reps in, Ryan. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, it definitely. It's like random days of the week. It'll be like super busy, and I'll just have like a ton of offers I'm sending out, a ton of agents I'm working with, and deals I'm working on. So you just gotta kind of build up your pipeline.
Man, so okay, so on market seems to be your favorite way of getting deals. I mean, you've just gotten pretty much 2 deals. One we're going to move on, and hopefully one we can get. Not off market, none of that.
I mean, like I said before, I was doing Facebook ads, Google ads. I had someone sending text blasts and cold callers and like everything. But at the end of the day, that costs so much money. I didn't get any deals closed from it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like at least for your first 5 deals, you know, if I was to start from day one, I would just focus only on market, you know, work on getting my first 5 deals. Once I have enough money to spend money on ads, then use the money that I made from the on market deals to spend on like, you know, direct mail, cold callers, or Facebook ads, or anything like that. But yeah, when I first started, I was just like, I want a deal so bad. I was spending all this money paying for all these leads, and you know, at the end of the day, an on-market deal was my first deal. So
awesome, man. Sorry, my volume cut out there, but that's great. So I'm just curious, how much did you spend on you know, VAs and all of that? Like, what was your cost? Like, how much did you sink into it?
Thousands. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, less than 10. I'd say like maybe 3,500 or so over
Insane.
the past few months.
And you had no leads generated from it. And then so where were you pulling your lists? How were you skip tracing them? How did you get your VAs? I want to hear a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so I'll start with the VAs. So I just went on Upwork, and then I went to searched up cold callers, found whatever ones were like rated the highest in terms of like people's experience with that cold caller. And then I would try them out for a couple of days. You have to really be on top of them because they'll try and like not do the full, 8 hours they're supposed to. So you got to be like tracking them each day. Like, oh, did you actually do your 8 hours? Were you actually like on call? So it's like managing a mini small team, basically. You have to be on top of them.
Well, where were they based out of?
Philippines and India, I'm pretty sure, were the two that I had.
Okay.
They weren't, I mean, they didn't really generate any good leads. I had been given leads, but none of them were like distressed properties or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest marketing success that I've had is definitely through Facebook ads in terms of off-market deals.
Okay.
Facebook ads has been the best. I created a website. I created some content, and I've just been running Facebook ads. And, the cost per lead is like $10 per lead. And I only have, like a $20 to $30 ad spend. And I'll still get like anywhere from 2 to 4 leads per day. They're nationwide though, so they're not as good. But yeah, I mean, now what I'm going to do is I just want to focus only on Dallas. If I'm going to pull a list, I'm going to pull it just for Dallas, just focus on one market, get really good at one market. And then, I can always do other markets later on, but I just really want to get really good at one and have you guys help me dispo any deals I get.
Awesome, man. No, the more reps you get in, the more confidence you'll have. But guys, also, you just learn so much. In every deal, I'm learning new stuff. Like this deal that Tony, Captain Vacation, my right-hand man, my partner, my better half. No, sorry. It's still soup. It's still soup. But hey, what's up, man? No, it's Ryan and I were just talking about on market versus off market. We talked a little bit about his 2 deals. His first deal that closed today, or not closed, but at least we got a buyer locked up. Yay. Awesome. But yeah, man, we're going to have to call that realtor on this foreclosure.
Yeah. So what's going on with the other one, guys?
Well, I already updated the chat. I don't want to talk too much about it on the live stream because we are live, right? This is an ongoing situation. But the realtor sent Ryan a message.
Yeah.
And she said, go ahead and say roughly what she said, Ryan. It's okay.
Yeah. So she sent me an email right now. She said, "Thank you for your time and consideration. However, they have decided not to move forward with this offer. Since sellers had not signed, even though they had signed the other one, all unexecuted offers are invalid. Please consult with a real estate attorney if you have any questions." And yeah, trying to cancel it basically.
Okay. So the first contract that was signed.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend responding is, let's try to salvage this deal. Tell them that you can give them $10,000 more, and let's get it sold today.
Oh, okay. Oh, Tony out there with the big hit.
No, like if you guys need me to call them, I'll call them. But I'm not losing this deal.
Let's call them.
Can you guys
we have an offer at 170. So if we can lock up for 160, Ryan, you'll get yours, and then we can make ours on top.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Nice.
Tony, okay. You want to give them 10 grand more? You don't even want to hear them out? Wow. You don't even know what the situation is. Tony just wants to get this closed.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, we have to call the realtor. So I'm going to call the realtor off of this live. I may or may not record it. I may or may not make a YouTube video about it. But I should probably do it off the live. But you heard it here first. Tony wants it. Okay. Yeah, well, it's really frustrating because we were walking a property for ourselves for our fund. I'm worried personally that it needs a little bit too much rehab based off of just my eyes, and it doesn't numbers don't pencil. We actually usually prefer properties with garages a few different things. This one has a converted garage. Just a few reasons why it just didn't work out for us. But we have a few buyers that walked in and they loved it. And yeah, you locked it up at 150. I think we have some guys that may be interested around 170. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, then after this call, we'll call and see if we can negotiate with them, give them a little bit more money.
Are you able to call? Because I don't know what exactly I would. I mean, I kind
Oh
of know
no,
what I'd say, but I think
I'll
you do
handle
better.
it. I'll call the realtor. Yeah, as a licensed agent, I shouldn't go. You don't want to go around a realtor to a seller.
Yeah.
That's a good tip for you guys too. If a property's on MLS, please go through the realtors. Now, if a realtor is not responding to you or they're being very difficult, well, then you usually wait for a property to expire and then go to the sellers. Really, I mean, you guys want to go through the realtors. Now, especially like me as a licensed agent, I want to make sure I do my due diligence accordingly. But Ryan, you're not a licensed agent, so you have a little bit more leeway. But yeah, I mean, and again, this realtor for the most part is responding and is being cooperable. So we want to make sure we go through her. These are her clients. So yeah, we'll call her.
The seller did text me though, and I have her number and everything.
Okay, and that's fine, right? If the sellers
it.
reach out to you, it's not like you guys can't message them back, right? They want to communicate with you. They want to communicate with you. Personally, I prefer to talk to sellers directly. I don't know
me
if
too.
you're a realtor, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. It is part of the game. Okay. Oh, I'm getting some messages in the chat. So y'all are saying I have not been hearing Ryan. Is that just me? Barely. Turn your volume up, Max. All right, guys. So I think the situation is that we're using StreamYard. It's really fancy software here, and the thing is, it doesn't like to pitch into Discord well. So I'm going to send y'all the link to join and just hang out in the StreamYard. I think this is going to be way more effective. So let me drop you guys the link to the StreamYard so y'all can watch it. 1 second here. Way better. Way better. Oh, yeah. This is great, guys. Here you go. Super excited. I'm really happy for this new software. It's going to be great. This is the same exact software that Pace Morby uses. And here, I'll show you how I know. This is going to be funny. So I was actually looking for streaming software. And here, I'll share my screen real quick. So here's my screen. So I was out looking for streaming software. I stumbled across StreamYard. Hashtag not sponsored. And, you know, oh, how do we get to their main site? 1 second. 1 second. Let's go to StreamYard.com. This was funny. Oh, dude, it's not sending me to StreamYard.com. Damn. Well, anyways, on their website, dude, they have this big old picture of Pace Morby smiling. So Pace Morby sponsors StreamYard, which is awesome. So that was a small world. I was like, out of all the people you could have had on your website, y'all just have Pace on there. Love it. So that's cool. Yeah, guys, in the chat, join here. This should work a lot better for you guys, and you guys can send message into the YouTube chat, or you can join on Facebook too.
Can they not hear me, or just they can't hear you?
No, they just can't hear you. So yeah, that's the problem with this. We have too many applications running. So going forward, we'll probably just move everything to YouTube and Facebook, and just have chill hangouts in the Discord. But yeah, guys, if you haven't yet joined the Discord and you're watching this, guys, Ryan here is closing deals in the Discord. We have Kylie closing deals. We have Patrick here closing deals, and we have a few other guys who are about to close.
Shanks is about to close his first one too. I don't know if I've
no
told
way.
you. I just got a
Dude,
text.
no.
So we'll see what happens.
No way. Is this the Richardson property?
I do not want to disclose any more information at this time. As to not jinx it.
Okay. That's
I hate
not
jinxing
Shanks
it.
it.
You can't jinx it.
Cannot risk jinxing a first deal,
No.
man.
You can never jinx it.
Yo, people are closing deals in the Discord. I love it. So yeah, guys, if you haven't yet joined, please join the Discord.
Oh, Ryan, I wanted to also let you know Nick approved your request, so we are good at what we discussed over the phone.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Sounds good.
Ryan's making some money. Ryan is making some money.
Yay.
Ryan deserves it, guys.
I deserve it. I do deserve it. I worked really hard for a long time to get a deal. You know.
Hey, that's how it is. It takes. Okay, so there's actually two things. You either stumble into your first deal like day one of wholesaling, and you're like, dude, this shit's easy, right? That's Patrick. Or you have the Ryan experience where you just grind. How long have you been grinding wholesaling for?
Probably 5 months of like nonstop every single day, like grinding.
So Ryan,
Man.
what do you think was the main difference between the last 5 months or the last 4 months and now?
The main difference was I stopped all my marketing channels, all my Facebook ads. I stopped everything. And then I just focused on market. And then I focused on being as personable as humanly possible so that the agents would like me, basically.
I love it.
Yeah. Because I'm sure they have a whole bunch of people sending them basically the same type of offers. And
Yeah.
I'm texting from a Canadian number too, so it seems even more suspicious. So I really had to call them and talk to them. And once they talked to me on the phone, they trusted me way more. And I tried to make them laugh and have jokes. And, I just wanted, if everyone was sending the same offer to them, I just wanted them to be like, well, I would rather give it to Ryan just because I like him more. I just had that kind of a mindset where I wanted them to like me.
Man, that's the kind of mindset that's not just gonna take you far in this career, but in absolutely everything in life, man. You show, like, I was the same way. My first job, I was 16. I was a bus boy, and I was like, I'm gonna be the best bus boy, best attitude, always smiling, always doing the little extra things that no one else did. Before you know it, every server is handing me 10% of their tip. All the other bus boys are getting nothing. And
Nice.
just keep at it, bro. That's a really good mindset to have, and you're totally spot on with all your reasoning.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then does it help having somebody on the dispo side giving you a price for what they can buy it for off of you so that you're not going in guessing?
It's so much easier because when you haven't done your first deal, you're unsure about yourself. I don't know how to do any type of transaction coordinating. Without you guys, there's no way I would have closed on that one. So having someone to help you on the dispo side and you just focusing on, getting deals and getting experience is so much help. And the fact that I can just, call you personally and be like, hey, what should I offer on this one? Before I even have it under contract. I don't know anybody that does dispo for people that you can just send them a lead and call and talk to them about it, and they're super chill about it. So you guys helped a lot.
Well, thank you. Really, what I've been trying to replicate here with Tony and the other people at our company is I went through what you guys were going through 24 months ago, and what I needed was somebody that I could talk to about my deals, because I can't tell you how many deals I got under contract that I thought were good deals, and honestly, I think they were good deals, but a deal that's good to me doesn't mean that's a good deal to the rest of the world, to all the other end buyers out there. So I would get all these deals under contract, some of them good, some of them not. I was still new at the time. And they'd fall out of escrow. And getting a deal and having to cancel escrow is the worst feeling in the world. You feel discouraged. You've wasted all of your time. You wasted your money because you had to put option money down. But more so than that, you hurt this seller who thought they had a buyer, and you just made them feel like shit. And then you wasted the realtor's time. And then you wasted the title and escrow company's time, and now they hate you. There's nothing worse. I really can't think of anything worse. So I was like, what can we do so that people, don't have to fall out of escrow, and we can help them get their first deal? Because the day you get your first deal, man, you're off to the races. And the next number you're looking at is 10. It's not 2, it's 10, right? And then after that, it's 100. It compounds exponentially. So I'm just so excited for you.
I love that, Max. Guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just received a text message from our buyer's rep stating that he is between our property and another property. He is ready to send EMD for his full asking price offer, but he needs a response by 8 p.m. So that is in an hour and a half.
Oh,
so we kind of need to call someone and figure something out.
It's game time. Guys, I think we may have to cut this live stream off early today. I love hanging out with you guys. I love making this content. Real quickly, Tuesdays, I finally have a schedule on this. I'm finally figuring out the live streams. I apologize. I got my camera working. I look good. My dog looks good. Everything's starting to work. But here's how it's going to work. Thursdays, I think it's just going to be this. I'm going to bring the community in here. We're going to have Ryan's in here. We're going to have Patrick's in here. We're going to have the Kylies of the world, right? We're going to have the Chris's of the world, and we're going to have all of you guys join these community days on Thursdays. And then Tuesdays, I want to do masterminds. I want to bring in experts like Tony himself, who's going to talk about sub-2 foreclosures, or Cody's going to talk about wraps, right? We're going to have masterminds on Tuesdays. So that's how we're going to do the live streams. And I just can't wait to provide you guys as much free value as possible. We got to go get this house. So I hope you guys can are okay with me ending the live stream a little early today.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You guys are the best. Sorry about the complications on the Discord. Sorry about the rough start. I appreciate y'all so much. Pulled an all-nighter, but I pulled it for Ryan, and it paid off. So, or it didn't pay off yet. Let me make it pay off.
Let's do it again.
I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. See you guys.
Yeah.